How's it going, everybody? This is Dominic Minchella. I am the Kansas City Chiefs beat writer on SI and the host of the Kansas City Chiefs Insider Podcast. Thank you guys so much for stopping in today. We are going to break down, ladies and gentlemen, now that the 2025 NFL draft class for the Kansas City Chiefs have all been signed. I will let you know if you missed it on how much each player will be getting, as well as the expectations that I've got for him going forward. The longest holdout, as we know, was Omar Norman-Lott, but he got his deal signed on the 19th, yesterday on Saturday. So now every single one of our Kansas City Chiefs draft picks have been signed, and they will all report to training camp, which begins on the 21st of July with the first practice being held on the 22nd. A lot of good things are moving in the direction for the Kansas City Chiefs after a long offseason. Football is right around the corner, ladies and gentlemen. I know I'm excited. I hope that you guys are too. But with that being said, let's break down the expectations, I apologize. The contracts that each of the Kansas City Chiefs rookies have signed this season. Without further ado, let's begin with first round draft pick Josh Simmons. Now, as we know, Josh Simmons is the only guy of the Chiefs draft picks who got a fully guaranteed contract, i.e. because he is a first-round draft pick. We saw some of that first-round guarantees or fully guarantees bleed into the second round of the draft, but now it is completely done and said with. That being said, over the next 4 seasons, Josh Simmons will earn a total of $14,675,356 with an average annual salary of $3.6 million as that increases as it goes on. He's going to get his biggest payday at the end of his 4 years, where he's set to make $4.6, almost $4.7 million with the Kansas City Chiefs. As we know, going into training camp, Josh Simmons is a guy to keep an eye on as he's still recovering from his injury that he suffered last season. But as we've seen him thus far throughout the offseason and per head coach Andy Reid, now that they've got Simmons fully signed up and he's ready to go, it's only going to bode well. Plus, he's healthy. He's going to be full go for the training camp. It's just going to have to keep an eye on that left knee to make sure it doesn't give him any troubles while he competes with Jalen Moore for that starting left tackle position. And let's move on. Number 2, round 2, second round pick for the Kansas City Chiefs, Omar Norman-Lott. He has finally signed his contract after that holdout, and he will be making throughout his Chiefs career in total value, $7,200,372. He will be making an average annual salary of $1.8 million. And as we know, similar to Josh Simmons, it will be increasing throughout his career in his first 4 seasons in Kansas City. Now that he's signed, I think that there is a lot of positive signs coming into the training camp session for the Kansas City Chiefs. They don't have to worry about anything financial, not at the moment, at least with their draft picks. They know that they've got them signed. All that they have to focus on is football. Omar Norman-Lott is going to be progressing in the right direction. He's excited, as we've already know, and I'm excited to see what he's going to be doing for the Chiefs throughout the next 4 seasons, and especially this year. I think he's going to have a big season, ladies and gentlemen. Moving on, third round pick, 66th pick overall, Ashton Gillotte. He signed his contract fairly early with the Kansas City Chiefs, and throughout the next 4 seasons, he will be making in total value $6 million. And similarly to the 2 guys before him, that average annual salary will increase. His first year, he will be making just over $1.2 million, and come year 4, he will be making $2.1 million. I got a lot of expectations for Gelati. I think that there's a position for him down the line of potentially becoming a starter in a few of these crucial games. If you missed that podcast, be sure to find out the Ashton Gelati expectations. I break it down even more there. Second, third round pick for the Chiefs, Noel Williams. He signed earlier as well, and he will be making in total value $6,335,516 throughout his next 4 seasons. Nothing's fully guaranteed, as we know, only for Josh Simmons. So hopefully everything goes well for Williams. He's the only rookie I have yet to give my expectations on, because I do think that he is a difficult guy to kind of set in place. As training camp progresses, I will be able to give you guys a full expectations of what my expectations are for him going forward. Moving forward, the 4th round pick for the Kansas City Chiefs, Jalen Royals. He signed the 4-year deal rookie contract of $5 million, $67,200 in total value. I have a lot of high expectations for Jalen Royals. If you missed the podcast on the 18th, be sure that you go check it out. It is giving a dive into what the expectations and the opportunities could be for Jalen Royals now that Rashee Rice has a sentence and is likely going to get suspended. The Chiefs' 5th round pick, Jeffrey Bassa, he signed a total value contract of $4,613,652, and he will not surpass $2 million during his tenure with the Kansas City Chiefs, at least in the first 4 seasons. But check out those expectations I've got for Bassa. I think he's kind of like a Swiss Army knife type of player for the Kansas City Chiefs, both all on defense. I think that he's got everything that he needs laid out in front of him to be successful with Steve Spagnuolo on defense. And lastly, the Kansas City Chiefs' 7th round pick, running back / wide receiver / wherever you're going to put him, he's going to make it work, Brashard Smith. He signed a $4,333,476 contract with the Kansas City Chiefs. The 7th round pick has a lot of high potential that he can turn himself into, whether that be in the running back role, the punt return role, the kick return role, whether they decide to actually use him as a receiver. We're all just going to have to wait and see. But all in all, ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited. The Kansas City Chiefs, they've got their future locked up in those 7 players. And now the main focus is on training camp. Be sure to come back tomorrow as we break down the last thing before training camp gets underway on the 21st. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dominic Minchella. You can follow me over on X at Dom Minchella. I post and repost every single day. You're not going to want to miss anything that we've got going now that training camp is literally right around the corner. If you don't want to follow me, you can also follow our page on X at KC Chiefs on SI. Our entire coverage will be there for free. Be sure you check us out. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, Chiefs Kingdom, be kind to one another, and I will see you tomorrow.